Long as you got your eyes, got your trippy on them private jets, taking trips, come back and say.
What's up, Chris? It's your girl Jay. As you read by the title, today's video is gonna be a Am I the A-hole? I'm doing another one of these because they are so fun, and y'all like when I do them anyway. They be going up views wise, so we just gonna do another one. I picked them myself this time. I just didn't read them, so everything gonna be basically a surprise to me. So y'all excuse my dramatic reactions sometimes, but we finna get into it. Okay, y'all. And also, as y'all can see, I'm in the car, so if you hear cars, just disregard it. Anywho, let's get into the first one. Am I the a-hole for returning the bag my husband bought me because I didn't want the rude sales assistant to get commission? I've never experienced a sales assistant being so rude to me before, so maybe I overreacted here. But last week I was looking for a birthday gift. There was only one free sales assistant, and I could tell she didn't want me to approach her, as she was intentionally avoiding eye contact and walking away when I was close. I waited 10 minutes in the hopes that another sales assistant would be free, but they weren't. And it was getting late, so I approached the original sales assistant. She pretty much brushed me off without helping me, so I went back to browsing on my own as my husband was going to meet me there. When my husband arrived, her whole demeanor changed, and she suddenly wanted to do her job. Don't piss me off, because don't act different when my man comes. Don't piss me off. I was looking at a bag that I would have bought for myself if it wasn't for the rude sales assistant. My husband asked me if I wanted to get it, but I said no, as the rude sales assistant would have been the one to benefit from the commission, as by this point, she had come over and was offering to help us. A few days later, my husband surprised me with the exact same bag. I asked him if he got it from the same place and if it was the same sales assistant who had helped me. It was. So I told him I wanted to return it. He knows she was rude and dismissive when I tried to ask her for help, but he still didn't want me to return the bag, as he said I would be missing out because of a random stranger. To him, the commission isn't a big deal, but I don't think she should benefit after how rude she was. If he had bought the bag with a different sales assistant, I would have kept it, but since he didn't, I returned it. Now he's upset that I returned his gift. Am I the a-hole? Okay, this one is kind of, it got layers. Okay, for one, as a woman, it's always the principle. Don't expect the man to get it, because he's not going to get it. He's just going to think, you want it, so I got it. Why are you not happy? But if I already told you originally I didn't want the bag with that girl because she started acting different and wanted to help me as soon as you came, then I feel like you going back and doing exactly what I told you I didn't want you to do was kind of like a slap in the face. And I wouldn't argue with him about it. But truthfully, why would you do that? Because if you really wanted me to be happy, you would have just, cared about what I said, how I felt. It's the principle. Like, truthfully, I don't know. Maybe I'm a brat. But I don't feel like she's the a-hole because, like, at the end of the day, why am I letting you benefit off of my husband's money when you didn't even want to help me until he came? Like, I feel like that gives shady vibes. Like, I don't think she's the a-hole. What do y'all think? Like, I do feel like on the flip side, it is rude to return something somebody got you out the kindness of their heart. So I do wish she wouldn't did that. But at the same time, I would have gave him a talking to, like, not even on no, being rude to your man stuff, but like, hello, like, I literally just told you I wasn't fucking with how she was doing me in the store. So why would you go back and get it from her? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's petty, but it's the principle for me. And she's not the a-hole. I don't care. No, I'm just saying. I do care what y'all feel also. So put it down below in the comments. When I say I don't care, that's just how I talk, y'all. But anywho, let's go to the next one. Okay, y'all. Excuse me cheesing. I like doing these, but like I get distracted so easily. And then when I start tripping on my words, I get mad. And I be having to delete the whole thing. So let's get into this one. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend I can't make her wedding dress despite making them for 2 other friends? Already giving shady. But let's get into it. I, 38 female, am a dressmaker and have my own shop. It has been a custom in my friend group that my wedding gift to friends who marry has been an original wedding dress made to their taste, and I have done this for 2 friends. I love my job and I love my friends, so it has always been an easy choice for me. However, I'm 26 weeks pregnant with my first child and trying to lessen my workload as I prepare for my maternity leave and pass larger projects over to my employees. My friend informed me last night that she is getting married. I was, of course, so happy for her and congratulated her. She asked if I'd be making her dress for her, and I told her, of course, to just let me know when they had a date, and I was told they already had a date, January 19th. That was fine. A year and 5 months. Perfect. Plenty of time to do the designs and make it, and I expressed as much to her, but she corrected me. It wasn't January 19th, 2026, like I assumed, but January 19th, 2025. I was a bit shocked at this and told her that if that's the day she picked, I had to take back my promise, as there is no way I can make her dress in that time frame, as I'll be not too long postpartum. I asked her to reconsider the date if she wanted me to make a dress pointing out how 5 months wasn't much to plan a wedding. Anyway, but she insisted that was when she wanted it. I didn't push as it was up to her, but I made it clear I would not be able to make her dress for her then. She didn't understand this at all, pointing out how I'll be taking time off work soon anyway, and can I just use that time to make her dress? That's so damn selfish. But anywho, that just pissed me off. Let me calm down. I admit, in hindsight, I got a bit snappish here, which you should because you're pregnant, right? And she likely didn't realize just how much work goes into a wedding dress. But I asked her if she hit her head and why she think it's okay to ask me to put stress on my pregnancy for her wedding dress. Clock it, because, yeah. Anywho, she has been putting messages in the group chat calling me out for it and saying how it's easy to tell who my favorites are, and it's clear her feelings hurt. I'm annoyed, but also feeling a bit regretful about this. I can't trust my employees to make a wedding dress without me, as their skill level isn't up to that. But maybe I could have a rehearsal dinner dress made for her, even a reception dress to soothe the hurt of her not getting the custom dress she wants. Hell no. No. I don't know, y'all. I feel like that's wrong. Like, at the end of the day, this your friend, so it's like, me personally, I'm gonna do the math in my head. You this much pregnant. This when the wedding is. How long did you get to spend with your child? How long did you have to really rest and chill? How long did you, like, you feel me? Like, having a baby ain't something that just, poof, you shake back overnight. Some people have postpartum depression. Some people get C-section, so they got to heal from that. Like, it's a lot that goes with having a baby. So I feel like that was very selfish of her because, like, yes, getting married is a big accomplishment. So happy for you. I'm forever going to be your friend, so I'm going to show up for you. But yes, you were an a-hole. And then you trying to get in the group chat and be funny, talking about some, I see who your favorites are. It ain't about no favorites. It's just they got married with some time in between. You feel me? Like, you trying to get married in 4 months. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because when you know, you know. I'm all for going down the aisle. But no, I just feel like she's not the a-hole. And at the end of the day, you're going to get snappish because you're dealing with hormones. You're carrying a whole child. And clearly what I see from this story is when you're carrying a child, people are very inconsiderate to your feelings. So, yeah, I just got a little triggered by that because I don't like when people be rude to people that are creating life. But at the end of the day, like, I get it. Like, a wedding is something that's very important. It's like, okay, as a girl, you was in your feelings. Like, well, you made it for them. Why you want to do it for me? But at the same time, you know the circumstances are different. And the lady who owned the shop is 38. So y'all not kids. Like, you grown enough to know what comes with having a child. So, like, grow up. Like, she's not the a-hole. I don't care. Next. Am I the a-hole for insisting the birthday girl pays for her own party? So I, 20 male, recently went to Mary's 20 female birthday party. I'm personally not close to her, but our whole circle got invited. Now I know Mary isn't well off. Her parents, both healthy and well educated, live off the social system. So Mary herself is particularly stingy about money. She's once tried to split the bill by counting the slices of fish we each had got from a dish. That's kind of crazy. So that's why when I got invited to go to the club, in parentheses, we are all students, so we aren't really that rich for clubs. I specifically asked her whether we had to pay for anything. I'm fine with paying the entry fees or for my drinks, but I just need to make sure. She assured me that we wouldn't have to pay. So we went to the party and food and drinks just started stacking up. There were also performances exclusively for our table. One of the female friends assured me that it was a part of a package along with the entry fee, so I didn't pay much attention to it. The whole night, it was basically Mary and her best friend really going hard on the drinks and food. The end of the night came, and one of the club hosts came in with a $2K bill. Mary said, okay, there's 15 of us here, exclude me and her best friend. And excluding her and her best friend, okay, let's keep going. And you all pay up just for the food. I covered the entry for you guys. Mind you, we came in with gifts. My gift for her was at least twice the amount of an entry ticket. I was too tired to try to debate with her, even question it, so I just paid for the drinks I had and left. I don't know about all that, because if I already asked you, anywho, some of my friends decided to follow me. Now it's been a few days, and after the first night of blowing up my phone and chasing me for money, they've now completely ignored me. Some of the girls now think that we were real jerks for leaving Mary and her friend with a $2K bill. I heard they didn't have $2K to pay, so they had some trouble leaving the club. My girlfriend said I should have just loaned it to them, since clubs are really dangerous for them to get in trouble with. Am I the a-hole? I get it, you're a man. So it's like, in that moment, you know, people expect you to step up and, oh, just do this for me. But you asked Mary ass. You asked her ahead of time. are you gonna have to pay? Because you already knew her ass was cheap. For one, it's kind of your fault because you knew Mary was cheap. You should have trusted your gut. She counts slices of fish, and you think she could keep up with money at this club? You knew better. You shouldn't have stepped out with them no more after that fish shit. I don't care. Like, that's too cheap for me. But I don't feel like he the a-hole because at the end of the day, your word is your bond. Don't sit there and tell me I'm not gonna have to pay for nothing. Then when I get there, be like, oh, you gotta pay. Me personally, I probably would have just off the strength, like, you not finna be telling nobody I owe you. Like, it's just a pride thing. But no, he's not an a-hole because, like, if I'm asking you a question, it's because I need to know or be prepared. Like, at the end of the day, she would have said yes, he probably wouldn't have came. So it's like you kind of try to say, no, you ain't gonna have to pay. So probably people will come and turn up with you and, you know, bring you gifts and all the other shit knowing they was gonna have to pay. Which is very petty of you, Mary. And y'all too old for that. How old are they? 20? Well, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, y'all young. Well, I'm 21, so I'm not saying it like, oh, they just babies. But yeah, I can see how that could get. Yeah, they are young. But no, at the end of the day, no, that's not your responsibility to pick up something that somebody told you wasn't even gonna have to deal with. Like, but that's just my opinion. Next. I don't know. Everybody's not the a-hole today, and I don't know. Maybe I'm the problem. I don't know. Okay, y'all, the next one. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give up my table in a coffee shop for a woman who supposedly was recovering from back surgery? Saturday mornings, I study at a cafe. It is always crowded. Coffee shop doors helps me to focus. All right, cool. So I show up at opening time, 8 a.m., order some food and a drink, and stay for 2 to 3 hours. The layout is mostly two-person tables that can be pushed together with some larger tables as well as counter seating. Even though I go on my own, I always sit at a two-person table. Counters are uncomfortable for me, and they don't have much space. I also like sitting against the wall so that people walking by can't see my computer screen. Yesterday at 9 a.m., I was doing work at a table when a random woman sat across from me. This ticked me off because I don't like my personal space being invaded, and I would have appreciated it if she had asked me before sitting down, but I ignored it. I was near the counter that day, so she might have just been waiting on her food. As I looked up, I noticed she was talking to another woman in line to order. We'll call the first woman Beatrice and the second woman Susie. Susie was saying how they might have to take their food to go because no tables were available. Beatrice didn't address me directly, but she had gestured to me as if planning to take over my table. This ticked me off more because it was like I was an object that could be moved. But I knew when the time came, I would ask them not to sit at my table. Sure enough, Susie got the order in and brought her number to my table. She then asked if I wouldn't mind moving to the counter so that her friend could sit there, saying her friend had recently had back surgery and the counters would be too uncomfortable for her. I told her, no, the counters are uncomfortable for me too. And there will not be enough space for all my books and notebooks. She called me rude and inconsiderate and said I shouldn't even be there because I wasn't eating anything. I said I had bought breakfast and a drink, not that it was their business and that they could take things to go. Eventually, one of the workers came up and asked if they were bothering me. I said they were, and they were asked to leave. Bro, all this for a fucking seat is kind of crazy. When I got home, I recounted the story to my roommate. I thought she would be as horrified as I was by their behavior, but she was hesitant to take a side. She said their behavior was rude and entitled, but at the same time, I was taking up a table at a notoriously busy cafe for a long time and I could have moved. Later, my sister likened it to not giving up a seat to a disabled person on the public transit. Oh, liking mean like compared it? I ain't never heard that word in my life. Anywho, this I don't agree with because transportation is a need for a lot of people, and these people didn't need to sit down at this cafe. Also, this may be a-holy of me, but I think a lot of people say that they have back issues or some kind of other mild condition just to get things they want. Both my sister and my roommate said it was a had to be there kind of situation for them to decide. So I'm wondering if any of y'all can tell me if I'm the a-hole without her being there. You're the a-hole. Like, I'm sorry. I was going to try to remix it and everything. But, like, yes, just because of, like, it was kind of entitled for her to just assume, like, by that look that you were going to give it up and this and that. But once you heard the lady had back problems, you had already been there for a while. You do this pretty often. It's just humanity, bro. It's not about, oh, this my table and I want it now. Like, I just feel like it gave kind of like doing too much. It's just a table. Like, me personally, like, I'm a very kind person. And I get it. You don't have to be a pushover. But it's just pick your battles. Like, these are older ladies. You done got them kicked out all because you just don't want to sit at a booth. And on top of that, it don't seem like the ladies was going to be there all day. You was going to be able to get your shit back. You there all the time. I'm sure they would have wiped it off for you, got it right. So, I don't know. I just feel like it's very childish. Like, it gave, like, this my seat and I'm not going anywhere. you're the a-hole, because it's not that deep for a seat. And if that lady really was hurting, like, it's nothing for you to just move for a few minutes, or, you know. And you talking about some, you like to sit by the wall, you don't want nobody to see your computer and all this, then work at home. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, it's just extra to me. Like, maybe, I don't know, because I'm not from the city where people, like, go places to do certain things and this and that. But, like, if it's just schoolwork, why would somebody seeing your computer really matter? Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't get it. I feel like you're the a-hole, because I feel like that's very petty. Like, you could have just moved for the older ladies. Like, it's a respect thing, and I respect elders. So, that's just how I feel. Y'all let me know in the comments. Next is, am I the a-hole for taking my underage son to see Deadpool and Wolverine? This one you probably not gonna be, because I went to see it, and don't get me wrong, it was some crazy jokes up in there, but let's be for real, these kids be seeing everything on TikTok anyway. It don't really, I ain't gonna say it don't really matter, because, you know, watch what your kids watch. But anywho, let's get into it. I, 45, no, I'm just lying. That's really not old. Have a son named James that is 15, 1 month from 16, with my ex-wife, Kate. Okay, gay marriage? Oh, wait, never mind. Okay, y'all, excuse that dumb moment. It says he's a man, so there's nothing gay about it. I just be getting a little excited when I think I see myself represented. Anywho, Kate and I have been divorced for the past 4 years and split custody with one another. James mainly lives with his mother, and I have custody on weekends as well as 1 week per month. This past weekend, James had plans to see Deadpool and Wolverine with some friends, but the plan fell through. Upon hearing this, I offered to take him, even though it's an R-rated movie. It is. I didn't know it was R-rated. I think it's PG-13. Let's look it up, y'all. Because at this point, I might not even read this one, because you're lying. You're lying. Oh, it was R-rated. They didn't ask for my idea at the movie. Anywho, let me get back to it, y'all. I'm sorry. I thought he was lying. I wasn't finna read it. Let's get back to it. I'm crying. It didn't give R-rated to me. Anywho. Upon hearing this offer to take him, even though it's an R-rated movie, James is at the age where he hears worse in school, and after looking at the reviews, I decided it was okay for him to see, especially because he told me he's already seen the first 2. Once I took James back to his mother when the weekend was over, he must have told her that I took him to see the movie, because she called me and chewed me out for taking him to an inappropriate movie. I wasn't too concerned, because Case an overprotective mother in general, but I failed to calm her down. She also stated that I should have checked with her before taking him and that I overstepped. I countered by explaining that I looked at the reviews for the movies and decided it was okay for him to see, but Kate refused to budge. I think Kate is being overprotective on the issue. You the a-hole, man. I ain't gonna lie. Only because of the fact that she has him most of the time. So once you realize, like, okay, this is my 15-year-old, this is an R-rated movie, let me talk with his mom. Like, that would just be the mature thing to do. Like, even if you feel like by reading the reviews it was good enough in your standards, at the same time, that's his mom. And he 15. Like, he gonna have plenty of time to see movies that's inappropriate. He gonna have plenty of time to, you know, do grown shit with you. So it's like, for you to just take it upon yourself and not really think about including his other parent was kind of rude. And I get it, because I feel like a lot of times when the parents are together, shit like this happens, because it's like, okay, he with me. But, you know, regardless, until he 18, y'all have to make decisions together. So yeah, you're kind of the a-hole. Even though it was a very funny movie. I liked it. I ain't gonna lie. So let's go to the next one. And it's gonna be our last one. Okay. The last one is titled, Am I the a-hole for getting angry and blaming my mom after my diagnosis? For context, I, 21 female, have always had mild health concerns from the age 13, I say. I've had really bad breathing issues, back pain, joint pain, rashes on my face, etc. From the ages 16 to 21, I was at hospitals constantly getting checkups because no one had any idea what was wrong with me. Anyway, last year, I visited my home country and I got really sick with a chest infection. I was literally suffocating with chest pain and my back hurt so bad that I had to go to the emergency room for having symptoms of a heart attack. They treated me at the hospital and 2 days later sent me to do 2 blood tests. I'm not exactly sure what they were for. One was a general blood test that checks if you have any low vitamins, or it checks glucose levels, etc. And the other was an autoimmune disease test. The general test came back perfect and I had no issues despite my family constantly commenting on my lifestyle because I don't eat meat and other certain foods. Which is stupid, because if you dealt with his health issues your whole life, they should understand why you wanted to make certain changes, but whatever. The autoimmune test only flags if your pathogens are very obvious. So mine were negative, but one flagged up because I had a high level of a specific protein in my body that indicated an abnormal inflammation. My aunt has lupus and arthritis, so she took me to a specialist she knows for about 20 years now. This lady writes me a note to give to the clinic for 4 more blood tests, one checking for lupus, the other for arthritis, and the last 2 checking for thyroid issues. She also tells me take my top off because she wants to look at my back. Immediately, she tells me I have scoliosis, and she sends me to get an x-ray done, which confirms it. I did the blood test and confirmed I have mild lupus as well. So my breathing issues were from my spine not allowing room for my lungs to expand, and my other symptoms were from my lupus. I can't do anything for my back anymore because I'm too old besides physiotherapy, and I take medicine for my lupus. I was angry with my mom because ever since I was a kid, she was shouting at me to straighten my back, my legs, and people asked her as well, like, what's wrong with my back or my skin, etc. She would always say that I was doing it on purpose or it wasn't serious. So am I the a-hole for blaming her and getting angry after my diagnosis because I feel like she had so much time to help me and she rather spend it scolding me? Also, even to this day, she downplays it, saying my conditions aren't serious. I would have beat my mama ass. No, I'm just like, I'm joking, y'all. I wouldn't fight my mama, but that's dead ass wrong. Like, if you see your child is constantly having issues with her posture, that's not something you nitpick your child about. Like, I get it, the whole old school, sit up straight and blah, blah, blah. But if you genuinely see your child is like kind of feeling insecure, or you're constantly having to get on them about that and they still can't do it, that should have been your moment to check on that. And I ain't gonna lie, for her to act like it's small when you getting this diagnosis at what you said, 21, I think, that's freaked up. I'm not gonna cuss, but that's freaked up, especially because of the fact, ain't lupus like hereditary? Like, I don't know, I might be uninformed, but I just feel like if your auntie already had it, and clearly this somebody that's been in your life, if she's stepping up, giving you a specialist, why the hell was that never in her mind to check for it anyways? And you was having all these issues that's related to lupus. Like, just reading it, the symptoms give lupus. Like, I get it, everybody might not be informed about what that is. You're not the asshole. And your mama genuinely just pissed me off. And I'm low-key mad that that was the last one. But it's all good. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. And I burnt up for y'all. As y'all can see, it's hot as in this car and in Louisiana. So I'm going to catch y'all next time. And love y'all.
Got to be on them private jets, taking trips, come back and say